Earth got a new animal patch. What do you mean by that? The dire wolf is back after over 10,000 years. You're telling me an animal that was extinct came back? This is Remus. He's a direwolf, the first to exist in over 10,000 years. Wait, he's a new species? Endangered species could be changed forever? Or is it one that was... let's look into this. Romulus and Remus are doing what puppies do, chasing, tussling, nippling, and nuzzling. But there's something very unpuppy-like about the snowy white 6-month-olds. Their size for starters. At their young age, they already measure nearly 4 feet long, tip the scales at 80 pounds, and could grow to 6 feet and 150 pounds. But then there's their behavior. The angelic exuberance puppies exhibit in the presence of humans, trotting up for hugs, belly rubs, kisses. It's completely absent. They keep their distance, retreating if a person approaches. Every one of the handlers who raised them from birth can get only so close before Romulus and Remus flinch and retreat. This isn't domestic canine behavior. This is wild lupine behavior. The pups are wolves. Not only that, they're dire wolves, which means they have cause to be lonely. That's interesting. The dire wolf once roamed an American range that extended as far south as Venezuela and as far north as Canada, but not a single one has been seen in over 10,000 years when the species went extinct. Plenty of direwolves have been discovered across the Americas, however, and that presented an opportunity for a company named Colossal Biosciences. The remains. They use the remains of an extinct creature? Relying on deft genetic engineering and ancient preserved DNA, Colossal scientists deciphered the direwolf genome, rewrote the genetic code of the common gray wolf to match it, and using domestic dogs as a surrogate mothers, brought Romulus and Remus and their sister, 2-month-old Khaleesi, into the world during 3 separate births last fall and this winter. So they took the DNA of the remains of the dogs and injected it into regular dogs, domesticated dogs, and then they created the species. So is that what happened? Imagine you're a normal ass dog and you give birth to a huge ass wolf. I agree. That's kind of wild. Which means as long as you have the DNA remains of any kind of animal, you can bring them back from extinction? Hello? Can we bring back the dinosaurs? Bring them back, bring them back, bring them back, bring them back. Why can't we bring back the dinosaurs? Is this the theme of Jurassic Park? Technically, it's not a direwolf. There are several concerning caveats, and it seems more like a disruptive tech bro type of business engaging in dangerously irresponsible and misleading practices. That said, this kind of technology isn't new. Trials and other more responsible industries have already been conducted. They also aren't even really wolves. So what are they? You telling me that the Chimera? You telling me this is Full Metal Alchemist? They creating chimeras over here? Are we creating chimeras? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. This is transgenic. I don't know a lot about transgenic things. Now we need a girl and a dog. Oh. Direwolves are more closely related to African wild dogs. This canine is essentially a hybrid chimera. Yes. Interesting. Which means like if they're a it doesn't have different geotypes, so technically not a chimera. We got 2 smart niggas in the chat. Fight! Now fight to the death, smart niggas. The direwolf isn't the only mammal that Colossal, which founded in 2021, and currently employs 130 scientists, wants to bring back. Also in their de-extinction, which list is the woolly mammoth, the dodo, and the thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger. Already in March, the company surprised the science community with the news that it had copied mammoth DNA to create a woolly mouse, a chimeric critter with the long golden coat and the accelerated fat metabolism of a mammoth. They want to bring back the mammoth. If all this seems to smack of PT, that means, sorry. I shouldn't be thinking what I'm thinking. I was thinking like, wow, that means I can try different food. I could taste different food. If all this seems to smack of a PT Barnum, the company has a reply. I am thinking of it from like a livestock thing though, right? Like, what if you can create a species, a chimera species of livestock that have, oh, that's crazy. Oh no. Genetically creating livestock? Is that a good thing? Genetically created livestock. Is that a bad thing? Could you solve world hunger? If all this seems to smack of P.T. Barnum, the company has a reply. Colossal claims that the same techniques it uses to summon back species from the dead could prevent existing but endangered animals from slipping into extinction themselves. What they learn restoring the mammoth, they say, could help them engineer more robust elephants that can better survive the climatic ravages of a worn cold. Bring back the thylacine and you might help preserve the related marsupial note. Wait. You telling me not only can they bring back extinct animals, but they can bring them back with patch notes so that they can survive the current climate? Is genetically engineering livestock any different than what we're already doing now with chickens and cows? Well, I'm guessing what they're trying to do is they can create animals that won't get extinct, that can survive the climate. It's like the concept of creating genetically created humans that don't age. You know, the concept of like there's always mutants and like we're better, we're smarter, we're genetically mutated, we survive you, we're a superior species. And that's the whole point of like a lot of these mutants, right? They feel superior because they have these things that allow them to be better than humans, evolved. That's why there's Magneto, and that's why there's Professor Xavier. Anyway, techniques techniques learned restoring the direwolf can similarly be used to support the endangered red wolf. Oh my cool. This is so cool. I don't feel like I've ever been like, this is such a cool science fact. We are an evolutionary force at this point, says Beth Shapiro, Colossal's chief science officer, speaking of humanity as a whole. We are deciding what the future of these species will be. The Center for Biological Diversity suggests that 30% of the planet's genetic diversity will be lost by 2050. And Shapiro and Colossal CEO Ben Lamb insists that genetic engineering is a vital tool to reverse this. Company executives often frame the technology not just as moral good, but a moral imperative, a way for humans who have driven so many species to the brink of extinction to get square with nature. So they're saying that this is something that we can do to restore the planet. Could you restore the mistakes of the past when we've extincted animals? This feels like Full Metal Alchemist. This feels like transmutation. Is this forbidden alchemy? Once it dies, once it's extinct, we're creating homunculus. Does bringing back dinosaurs really accomplish anything for our ecosystems? I don't know. It feels like crimes against nature depending on your morality, right? So science, for the sake of science, they're going to be like, I need to fucking find out if I can create a dinosaur. I got to find out. That's how it always works. Some sciences is like, I got to find out. And then we die. Fuck around and find out, literally. Dinosaurs are just killers? What about us? What are we? What if dinosaurs were the natural big dogs? What if we bring back our predators and we put ourselves back at the bottom of the food chain? What if we put ourselves below in the food chain? Can you imagine that? We wouldn't do that. We keep the food chain. The food chain is not natural. But there are some humans who are going to be like, we don't deserve, humans are monsters. We don't deserve to be at the top. I'm bringing back the T-Rex and all his homies. Damn. The woolly mouse, to a minor extent, and the direwolves, to a scientifically seismic one, are first steps in the direction. But not everyone agrees this. Scientific history is rife with examples of newly introduced species become invasive species. Ooh, the doctrine of unintended consequences biting humans when played too cute with other animals. That's what they talk about, like invasive species. If you bring back an invasive species, then you're getting got. And genetic engineering is still a nascent field. Nearly 30 years after the Dolly the sheep was cloned, the technology still produces problems in cloned animals such as large birth size, organ defects, premature aging, and immune system problems. More, cloning can be hard on the surrogate mother. So basically, we're so far away from this shit that it's still not going to happen. They're still testing it, but they can't do this in mass. This is just kind of like maybe we can do something. And if you give us $1 billion, we'll continue the funding to pursue our research. That's what this is. Because I don't know, man. They ain't making these niggas. They saw the wolf, though. I saw the wolf. They did. They made Remus